What is up, guys and girls? It's Nick, also known as Born Gamer, and the rest of my intro is in the works right now, so I'm just gonna hold off on all that spazzy garbage jazz that I like to say before the episode. If you like it, leave feedback in the comments. I don't know, I just kind of not feeling it today. Maybe it's the 100-degree weather, maybe it's the sweating just sitting in my room and having to turn down the fan so that this commentary isn't ruined, or maybe it's just not too bad of a gameplay. The final result, I think, doesn't really reflect how well I did. I think I did alright, so you leave that up to you. But what I really want to talk about, seeing as it's just over a week away as of me recording this, is E3 and what Assassin's Creed 3 is going to bring to the table. It's going to be a very hot topic issue, and of course it does directly relate to my channel and everybody else that does Assassin's Creed, of course, and obviously just the fans who hopefully have clicked on this video, and definitely weigh in on what you think after you've seen the video, or I mean if there's something that prevalent that you want to talk about right now and you can't wait the extra 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. I'm not really sure what it is right now. Just leave a comment right now. I'm going to split this into two parts. The very first thing I want to talk about is my favorite part of the games, which is the single player. Now, we've already established that there's a new system. If you haven't seen it already, it's going to be a bit more, it kind of seems wildernessy. I mean, a third of the world in the game is set outside of the cities, which is in colonial America, if you have not known that already. So there's going to be running through trees, stabbing bears, and climbing on rocks. So I'm not really going to be too surprised by how they go about that. I'm going to be interested and have a lot of fun with it, as everybody else will. I'm ready for a bit of a change. Climbing on the rooftops has been, I think, slightly beat to the ground, but I saw their trailer or gameplay a couple weeks ago where the guy was running through the buildings, and that looked pretty sweet. It looks like it's got a bit more flow. It reminds me a lot of that game that nobody played, at least on Xbox to my knowledge, which was Brink. They had that dynamic running system or jumping system where you would just kind of just glide over any obstacle in your way, and hopefully Assassin's Creed 3 is very fluid, just kind of like the first game was. It's just got to be fresh. I love how the game works now, but after, was it 5 years? First game came out in 2007. God, I feel old. I'm 19 and I feel old. Yes, I'm 19. For those of you that have not read my bio. But yeah, I'm really interested in the kind of the parkour aspect, and that's not really the biggest thing. What I really care about most in this game is definitely the story, and who I'm most interested in is Desmond, although Connor's definitely coming in a close second. I'm really curious to see what the heck this guy's motives are. I know that we've seen a lot of stuff like he's not really on any side, he's for justice and blah 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 blah. I mean, they can say that all they want, but until they give me the words coming out of his mouth saying, I'm gonna stab this Brit, or I'm gonna kill this American, and there's gonna be, oh, Fox News is gonna go crazy over that, Canadian game or whatever, Ubisoft Montreal. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not the most informed person out there, but I believe it's made in Canada. They're just going to be like, America killing Americans, and it's just going to be so stupid and ignorant, and duh, ignore the television. But yeah, I think Connor, I really don't care who he's killing. I just want it to be interesting, and I want to have motive, and I definitely want to be as interested in him as I was in Ezio, because it's really hard to follow up Ezio. Ezio's probably my top character maybe ever, just behind Star Fox. Just behind Star Fox, but I'll leave that for another day. Maybe I'll do a throwback video. But yeah, definitely Ezio's one of my favorite characters. Connor's got some big shoes to fill, some big old boots to fill. And I'm not sure if they've said this. Maybe this is just me seeing 3 be the end to everything, but is this the last game in the Assassin's Creed series? I know it's all been leading up to 2012, so that would be really interesting. If this is the very last Assassin's Creed game we're going to see, or at least maybe it would just be in this story arc with Desmond, and I mean, it's kind of like the whole point of the Templars versus Assassins, unless, I mean, they could write whatever they wanted, but it would kind of be sad if this is the last Assassin's Creed game, if they pulled that out at Assassin's Creed, like, oh, hey guys, by the way, this is all you're ever going to get out of us. And not only would that affect the single player, obviously, this is going to lead me to my next topic, which is multiplayer, my bread and butter on the YouTubes. If this is the very last Assassin's Creed game, is this going to be their final little you know, their little going away present with the multiplayer? Or are they going to just leave us with a great game? Or are they just going to leave us with a glitched out piece of work in progress garbage that they gave us for Assassin's Creed Revelations? Now, I know there's some upsides compared to Brotherhood, and there's a lot of downsides. If you had to press me, I'd say that Brotherhood is probably a better online game, but how are they going to play that out? I know that in Revelations they started to make it so that it was a I want to say story, you know, like it's kind of a story behind it. Like they'd give you little videos saying, "Hey, you're a Templar. You gotta kill other Templars." Blah blah blah. It kept my attention for a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Are they gonna really flush out the Templar side in the multiplayer, or maybe somehow in the single player? I don't know. I would not put it past anything, especially like I said, if it's the last hurrah. Although I really doubt it is. It's kind of one of those games where I feel like they could go on any side. Maybe they finally, you know, play in Japan or China, whatever the fans are calling for. And if you guys aren't aware, just go to the forums. There was a huge battle over where they thought Assassin's Creed 3 should be prior to when it was announced. I think Egypt was one of them. So it's really interesting. This series could go anywhere, so I'd be definitely disappointed if they stopped it. But more than anything, I'm thinking that they're going to continue the series. Just they'd have to maybe get rid of Desmond, or who knows. The things I'd like to see from E3, though, is just kind of a little love letter to the fans that have played online, and notice that I don't think that there's been one significant patch to this game to address players' problems, like things that have really bugged us. Like, for instance, offensive smoke bombing. I know that there's a little bout I get with this kid in this match. He offensive smoke bombs me, and I think later I retaliate to take out a little bit of my fury on him. But why did they not patch that? Like, is there any reason that somebody would not patch that? Like, couldn't they have just made it so that your focus meter didn't build up when they were in a smoke bomb or something? Like, just anything. Just throw us a bone. Or are they just really just gonna wait? Kind of like, this reminds me of Modern Warfare 2. For all of you that remember, they had the noob tube. They still have the noob tube problem, where everybody was just throwing danger close and noob tube and one-man army on and just killing everybody. Like, oh, it was terrible. But they fixed it in Modern Warfare 3, and it's just kind of like, hey, they fixed it, but you screwed us over for 2 years. So are they doing this to make us buy the next game and hope that it's all fixed? Or maybe they're just not creative enough, and if they fixed it now, they wouldn't know what to put in the next game. I don't know. It's kind of I don't even know what to say. It just doesn't make me happy when they don't patch games, especially when you've paid for it. Like, I really, really did want to buy the DLC. I really, really, really wanted to buy the DLC. Sienna was one of my favorite maps down, like, by far in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. But because I didn't support the fact that they were not going to support the multiplayer after launch, except for paid DLC, which is dumb considering that they had free DLC in Brotherhood for a map or two. I believe Mount St. Michel and San Donato, which I think Donato is a paid map now. So it's kind of, I don't really agree with their decisions. I hope that in maybe E3 that they say, hey, we're going to really make this online a big thing here because we have something good going and we want to really flush it out and maybe start topping the Xbox Live. Okay, not topping. You know, Call of Duty's never going to be topped. It's just too big of a juggernaut. But maybe break top 5. I have no idea what it's at right now, but I feel like it has so much potential. It's just so interesting. And here's my little revenge right here. I was going to go for the hidden, but oh boy. And I'm sorry, unsportsmanlike taunt, but he did drop a smoke on me earlier. It's just not how the game should be played. I just love when people are being stealthy, and I just hope that somehow Assassin's Creed 3 can bring back, I don't want to say the good old days, but like when the game very first comes out, at least when Brotherhood very first came out, everybody was scared shitless to run around. Like, everybody was playing like it's single player and they were about to fail the mission if they got detected. It was beautiful. It was, you're being an assassin and you'd get killed from a hidden group and be like, where the hell did he come from? And now I'm just kind of, I expect every death, more or less, and my kills are just kind of becoming routine. I still love playing it because it's so fresh, because that's just how different it is compared to any other game out there, but there's just something about it that's just not fixing it that really drives me wild. And that aside from maybe the fact that they might advertise the multiplayer more, there's still so many people out there just like, Assassin's Creed has online? Like, what is this? They see my videos like, I never even known that they had this, let alone how to play the game. So I think that they need to make a really big push of, hey, we do have multiplayer. It's a great multiplayer. We're putting a lot of effort into this. They have hundreds of people working on this game. The very least they could do is give those people working hard on multiplayer credit for the game that they've made or that they're making. Now, that aside from maybe a couple of abilities they could throw in there and outline the balance that they're going to be putting into the game, and I would be very happy. I just want to come out of E3 knowing that Ubisoft's got my back. Ubisoft wants me to be playing this game for more than 6 months and going, alright, time to move on to the next big thing. Well, if you guys agree with what I said, I know it didn't really get too specific in saying, hey, I want Smoke Bomb to last for 2 hours this time, or we should just get rid of all abilities, but I just kind of want to give a general telling of what I'm hoping E3 brings. Definitely leave your feedback in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I do have a Twitter. My sub box is not really being friendly to me, so until next time, guys, I'll see you.